But my blood pressure before I went and had the huge spike from my Ritalin was like 115 over 60 something. Sometimes 100 and something over 70 something. Not bad.
Jinkies! We should prepare for some kind of tussle. Rough housing may be an occurrence.
Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. The sun is shining, the globe is spinning beneath our feet. Thumbs up for that, a very good thing. It did not rain much yesterday, so when I went walkies, it was pretty dry. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And there were stars. It was good. It hasn't been as cold. I'm at the point where I'm not going to be wearing my long sleeve shirt as a jacket when I go out for walkies here. And I'm starting to have only one fleecy blanket when I go to sleep at night, because otherwise it's just too hot. I overheat so quickly, it's absolutely insane. But it's a good thing. It is still sunny-ish. There's cloud cover out there, but there's light. The globe spins beneath our feet. The sun emits its deadly and terrifying radiation that sustains all life on this planet. Thumbs up for that. So it's a good thing. And of course, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you have not, that would be very awesome as well. If you could leave me a comment, I love comments. I read absolutely every one of them. I thumbs up each one I read, which again is all of them, and I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow, so thumbs up. And of course, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful, literally awesome people are literally beautiful and literally awesome. If you would like to become literally beautiful and literally awesome yourself, hey, there are links in the show more video description, and you too could become more literally beautiful and literally awesome than you are already. Very, very cool. And hey, front loading of videos over. Thank you, YouTube algorithms. Whew! I am more out of breath because of my allergies. And that's joyous. I was very wheezy when I woke up and took off my mask. I even get wheezy before I take off my mask, which probably means I need to change my filter. But I get very wheezy afterward. And it has to be mold. I have been told that I am allergic to mold spores. I have not been checked. They have not specifically done the test where they, put all these scrapings of various stuff like on your back and then check to see what you're actually allergic to. My allergies are just very mild, and they are definitely of the just annoyance factor, which there is a difference between what the layperson calls allergies and medical allergies, because out here in the outside world, when we speak of allergies, we mean the response of your body when your immunoglobulin E, the annoyance factor, latches on to just something that's benign and has a full-on immune system response meltdown to that. That's what we call allergies. Of course, medically, an allergy is when you I got an itchy spot there, is when you will get touched by something and you get hives and welts and such like that. So that when you breathe a substance that you are allergic to medically, or you drink or eat a substance you're allergic to medically, it's dangerous because you have swelling, inflammation. It can close off your breathing. It can shut off your vessels. That's bad. So there's a huge difference. So yeah, I'm allergic to leaf mold, and we figure it's that because my allergies are the worst when it's wet. And what grows when it's wet? Stuff like leaf mold. So, it gets damp, I get wheezy and coughy and hacky, and everything here starts to run, and joy. When it's dry, not as bad. When the air is filled with all these other tree spores and all that, when they let off their pollen, my eyes will feel gummy because there's so much junk in them, but that's past it. I don't feel any worse or terrible. It's just, there's a lot of stuff in the air, and I'm suffering because there's junk in the air, but nothing past that. Thank goodness. So life has just been life. Unmedicated. My blood pressure is still having to come down. because of my diet. My diet has gotten better. It's not perfect. It's better than it has been. And so it's still coming down. But my blood pressure before I went and had the huge spike from my Ritalin was like 115 over 60 something. Sometimes 100 and something over 70 something. Not bad. Right now, I got a very, very itchy nose. Right now, my blood pressure has been like 130 over 70 something. Not terrible, not horrible at all, but not where it's been. So I gotta keep on working on my diet and then getting that so that my blood pressure will come down. Because of the executive dysfunction, I have not even been able to call my med manager yet to tell her that I'm not taking this stuff. Because of external stuff that makes the executive dysfunction so much worse. Executive dysfunction is where in my particular case, and I know it's for so many others, and I know I don't speak of true executive dysfunction, but it's close enough to it, where I need to do something, like make a phone call, or get up and do something, or make an appointment, or go, something like that, and I can't. Literally can't. I mean, I spoke when I answered the phone, and the thing said, do you want to make an appointment now, or do you want to call back? And I fought for like 30 seconds just to push the button, because I couldn't. It was horrible that way. I didn't feel anxiety. It didn't feel terrible. It's just that I wanted to press the button, and I couldn't. So that is rough. And unmedicated, yeah, it's even worse than it's been before. Ugh. So there's all sorts of things I need to get done. There's all sorts of things I want to get done. There's all sorts of things that should be done. Don't shoot on yourself, though, as I just did, though. That is not something you should say or do. And I'm using the word should again, but that's part of English. It puts expectations and pressures on you so that you feel bad if you can't do them. And feeling bad is not going to help you. So please do not should on yourself. It doesn't help you. But there are all sorts of things I want to do, and all sorts of things that I'm going to keep working on because I got to get them done. I also wanted to once again talk about my admiration for people that can think in music. I have subscribed to this one person's channel where a lot of their YouTube stuff is just edited down, their 2-hour long Twitch stream down into a 20-minute or some odd minute YouTube thing. And he's just going on to these live streams and he picks a sound. Like in this particular one that I've been watching this morning, it was somebody had auto-tuned a cat meow. And so he was picking and choosing parts of that and editing it and making it into instrumentation and pulling it together into a song. I wish I had that kind of creativity and mind to be able to do that with music. It has always been something I've wanted to do, but I've never been able to reach. And just watching these people, where he tried to get his cat to meow so he could do stuff, and it was so quiet. So he took this auto-tune meow, and halfway through it, he's doing, it's pretty good so far. As well as, because it's compilations of streams, he goes off into wild tangents about, talking about bed frames. And at one point, he just was like, what is my life? Why am I doing this? Because he took the part of the song and was like, hey, let's do a SpongeBob laugh. And, meow. And then, he's going, what is my life? And it was just absolutely horrific sounding, but it was really cool just to watch this person doing this. So Eliminate, spelled eliminate, but I guess that's because his name must be Nate. But it's pretty cool, and I enjoy stuff like that. I do not have, because of my ADHD and inability to really think or remember much written down on my topics list. Some of it, of course, is written back before I had to stop my ADHD meds, so I do have some things that I want to talk about because I can remember those. But I'm also trying to think and talk about new stuff that I've been working on. Like I've been doing a lot of stuff with Utokk. Well, unsurprisingly, I think the being from behind the southern exit thing. And one of the further things is, because I let this stuff percolate, nothing is really written in stone until I can figure out stuff on it later. Like, I know that the characters will do these sort of things. Later on, I find out why and how. And so one of the things that I had figured is, because Utokk knows how to build human beings from the subatomic particle up, but they were immature back then. And I'd only just recently come to fuller understanding of why they're acting now, because they've achieved more maturity. So when they played with this stuff before, that was at an immature state. Effectively, when Utokk a couple million years back built a human body and then discovered they could plug themselves into it and then feel the body and then make it do things and then use it as a tool, it was like watching a movie on a phone this big. It's the full movie experience, except it's on a phone, so it's not really a full movie experience, is it? It's just this tiny thing that you hold in your hand, and instead of a wonderful sound, it's those tiny little speakers. Sure, it's nice to be able to watch a movie, but it's nothing really special. And so Utokk was not really enamored by the experience. It was like, oh, well, it works, doesn't it? Huh. And then leaving it behind. Since the advent of the mobile phone by the Crimson Kingdom and the itch being felt by Utokk over the past couple hundred years, and they're finding and using all these things, I've got to remember what I was talking about now. I'm an English speaker, and I was born in the 60s, so my apologies. They, especially, since it is not a gendered being, it is no gender that we would know of. It's not even as alive as we would understand it. But the difference now is they plugged in just to revisit it and see what it was going to be like. And remember, it was this thing on the little phone. And now when he plugs in, sure, relative to Utokk's experience, this is nothing. But relative to the human thing that it's plugged into to experience all this through, it's a shocker, because it's the difference between watching this thing on your phone and sitting in a gigantic theater by yourself where you don't have to move your head. The huge IMAX screen fills your vision, and thus at least 10.1 with the massive bass subwoofer maximum theater sound is blaring. You are in the experience. That's what they feel now as a mature being plugging into a human body compared to what they did before. So when they went and spoke to the Crimson Kingdom, they were still very enamored of the feelings that they were getting. Compared to the normal experience that Utokk has, again, it's nothing. They use maybe 5% of their total brain and attention and focus to pop it into one of the little human bodies, and then comparatively, that's nothing. Maybe if you think about it, it's like, oh, that was a nice touch on the back of my hand. But compared to the tool that you are currently inside, yeah, that's an amazing experience. Which also ties into, I've been thinking of, because the body has no chemical processes to make it work. There are no electrical impulses to make it work. It is dead tissue, it is animated, and it shouldn't be working. When Utokk plugs themselves in, their energy works as a sort of battery and simulator. And it is this power that runs them. It is Utokk's power that runs these things. And so, of course, no one else can really understand how they work, because they shouldn't be. Because I've also been thinking that as well as just running a body that you can plug into and run as a tool, they had also discovered, you plug in like a enough energy, it becomes a battery, and they turn into a living being, in that there is quantum knotting. They are still dead tissue. The body does not run in the slightest. It is dead. It's just not rotting. But when they plug in that power that it becomes a battery, it mixes in with the energies of Utokk, with the brain that's provided, and it has quantum knotting and becomes an actual person. And Utokk does not see these things as prey, because they are part of, the energy is part of who they are. So they're not prey, but they're not exactly children either. And they're not exactly something that they would really fawn over, because Utokk does not feel love or like as we understand it. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Just got big itchies over on this side of my face this morning. Isn't this great? 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It isn't much anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, with my fibro and you seen how my brain works, so... Let me call on my Chrome. We have Danny, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, oi, allergies. Davin Crow, that actually would be a good idea. Overlord was a very good game. Jesse Koskinen, the levels and such just get better as we keep going. The dev has learned so much more while making the game hot. It is amazing. Robert Long, who says the reaction video is pure cringe, and I kind of agree. I was still broken. But then every day, every year, we change from who we are. Flora Mew, thank you very, very much, and always good to see you in the comments. We have Ben B, thumbs up, and thank you. There is Jay with 2 Y's, and thank you very, very much. And then we have Hunter, good to see you in the comments. And Ice Damon, thumbs up, and thank you. Ragoon, greatly appreciated, and that is it. 11 people who left me comments. Excuse me. In the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. Yay! And with my hands in the air, of course, don't know what device you're watching this on, but wherever the video description is, I have links to my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. Again, these people are literally beautiful and literally awesome. I am still slowly sinking beneath the waves of financial ruin because the cost of living is far outpacing the cost of my disability. Then these people at least are helping me and my pets to survive just a little bit longer. Thank you so very, very much. And if you'd like to become a patron, again, links in the show more below. I can speak English, I promise. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending any money at all, there are links to an Amazon wish list link. Didn't mean to repeat that twice. But there is a wish list link. If you could check that out, it has cat food on it. That'd be very awesome. And of course, is it of course? What do I say after that? I've forgotten. I think it's like if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. And if you could subscribe to the channel or hit the notification bell, that too would be very cool. Hopefully I said that properly. Well, shuckle my duckle. Hopefully I'm going to be walking to not to the post office, to the hospital today, so I can talk to the business office about my bill. I need to get the paperwork done, and I hate having all the issues that I have. At least now I know why I have them. But just because I know why doesn't mean I know how to work around them. Ugh. So hopefully I'm going to get that done. Hopefully you're going to get done the things that you need to get done. That would be cool as well. And when it comes to the cafete bug, it is still raging around the world. People are still getting sick and they're dying. Here in the United States, we're lifting mandates, which of course it's going to come roaring back with variants at some point. But just be as careful as you can. Take the precautions that are appropriate for you. That would be good. Definitely get vaxxed. Definitely get yourself a booster. It would be a good thing. So, until we meet again. I can't even remember what I say after that. Until we meet again. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I promise you, I do have a functioning brain. It just doesn't seem like it that much, does it?